The next raid killer will be raid. Okay, so raid is gonna kill itself.
Well, I think it's fair that you guys pay 20% more on the prices because the whole
Why?
game. Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and gonna be joined by my good friend Skratch, and we're gonna be touching base about some of the stuff going on in the community, like the drama around whales being banned and getting warnings on their account for spending on third-party services, and we'll touch on some other stuff going on in the mobile gaming space, some other games trying to compete with Raid, the long-term thoughts on Raid's success as we head in towards the second half of 2023. Let's get into it. Hey, what's up, Skratch? How you doing today?
Yo, what's up, Chosen? Doing pretty good, man. Just having a bit of a cold, so I'm like in between, like going in between the moods right now, actually. What about you?
Yeah. You sound a little bit stuffed up, but not too bad.
Do I? Yeah, I might be a bit, yeah, actually.
It's all good. It's all good. So, where do you stand as of right now? Do we know anything new from your end in terms of what's going on with like the third-party services and the high spenders and the whales? Is there anything new that we can kind of talk about with people?
Well, I think a lot of these so-called high spenders, they're not as high spenders as we thought, right? Because the real high spenders are just going and purchasing directly through the game. And you can argue it and be like, okay, well, people want to save money, people want to do this, and it's definitely a line that can be easily crossed by all these things, and there are a lot of people that use third parties to purchase cheaper packs, right? And it's kind of like a massive thing in the Russian community. Like I've seen a screenshot today from a CVC, right? Like actually, too bad I didn't thought about it because I can't remember where I've seen it, but basically was an entire clan competing versus a Russian clan, right, in the CVC, and that Russian clan only had 2 people left that were unbanned, right? 28 people from the clan, they were all banned because of using the third-party application, whatever, middleman sort of situation, and they all got banned. So that was a funny thing to see.
Wow, so 28 out of 30 people were banned. That's pretty. You wouldn't expect that. You would expect the ban wave to hit like, a couple people in each clan. That's crazy.
Well, yeah, but because I've done a video yesterday talking about it, and there were actually 2 Russian content creators. I don't know exactly which ones of them, right? Their names and stuff, because there's so many, and we have literally no connection with them. Like we don't really talk with community through community, but they were basically offering services like this to their community, right? So basically what they've done, they just pulled the plug, refunded everything, or took all the money and disappeared or something like that. Yeah, that's what, at least the people, that's what they're saying,
Okay, so it's not necessarily the utilizing of third-party services, but it's the refunding of purchases.
Yeah. I mean, this thing is going in every game, right? Like, I'm pretty convinced that every single game has this sort of things with the currency. It's not something that the company can block, right? Like, each country lives in a different way, right? They use different currencies, they have different taxes, etc. It's true that Google kind of like changed all this, and the iOS store recently, you've seen, like, for example, just look at a simple example. I live in Great Britain, right? Pounds. Then I used to get the same packs in pounds that the guys in USA used to get in dollars, right? And that was like, why do I need to pay 20% more than you guys, And I changed to dollars, like, I don't know, 3 years ago, probably. And since then, I'm purchasing through BlueStacks because I was getting Google points as well. Like, I've done tons of videos talking about this topic, But I feel like if you look at the euro, for example, you pay 120 euro for a pack that's $100, and that's not fair either. Like, where is the line? And this is something that comes directly from Plarium. Of course, people, they will try to dodge that to make it more fair. If you go on the Plarium Play app, you can go to payments at settings, and you're going to be able to change your own currency, Some of them, I don't know because I haven't tried all of them, but some of them might be a bit different. So it might be pretty much the same cup of tea, but you can just go and select dollars directly and pay cheaper than your euros, for example, or depending where you're in the world, So I don't think this is an issue for the games. Like, every game does it, every game has it, more or less. But what really happened is that you're familiar with what happened in Diablo Immortal last year. When we had all these whales in our clans, and we thought like, wow, my God, these guys are spending like crazy, and they were so ahead of us and stuff. Well, all of them got banned because whoever were selling them the packs, we used to get them in Discord all the time. We always used to ban them because they were offering this cheaper packs and stuff.
Yep,
But it
I
doesn't
remember.
exactly what was
Yep, I remember.
happening.
And for those of you that just want the quick 10-second summary, when Diablo Immortal came out, it was very pay to win, obviously, and there was people using third-party services to get like half price whaling, and they ended up way out ahead of everybody. And then one day there was this massive ban wave, and a bunch of people just disappeared, and we were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like half of the clans from all of them, from the top clans disappeared, like 50 people from each one of them. So basically, I feel like it was a very similar thing where they were able to abuse the system to the Microsoft Store, their middlemans, and basically they weren't actually spending any money on the packs, like they were actually keeping the money. So the middlemans kept all the money. They didn't actually have a chance to refund or anything like that. Or maybe they refunded like a huge amount of money is one of these two options, but I'm very convinced was the first option. And then of course Microsoft Plarium kind of like caught the whole thing, and yeah, that's what happened.
Well, I think it's fair that you guys pay 20% more on the prices because the whole
Why?
game is catered to you. The reset times are at noon.
Yeah, okay,
I'm
I
sitting
see.
here. The reset times are at 4 a.m. It's like it's too early for me to wake up. It's too late for me to stay awake. I think it's fair that you pay 20% more than me. To be honest with you.
I mean, I asked Plarium so many times to change the reset time. It's not my fault that they don't want to do it. Like I wish they would make a different reset so we would see different people playing Arena, not the same 500 people all the time. Because yeah, it will be it would definitely be much better, even to make multiple resets or something like that. I don't know why they're not doing it actually.
Now, do you think that this clan where 28 out of 30 people got banned? Do you think it's going to be permanent, or do you think it's like a suspension? We should clarify on that.
Well, I think they're going to be a vote from each one of them. Like I don't know much about the people from that clan. It's just like a random Russian clan. There's so many in the game that it's pretty hard to keep up the step with them. But just seeing such a big number of people being kind of like gone from the clan, you can still see them there, but you see that they haven't logged in so long. Like in a week and a bit since the bans kind of like came in play. So maybe they're gonna get them unbanned, some of them maybe not. I'm honestly not 100% sure what
Plarium,
Plarium will.
Plarium did that on purpose. It's like in the old days when they would put somebody in jail like in the middle of town so that everybody could walk by them and see like this is the bad person, don't be like them. They're gonna leave them there so that everyone can see that they like got banned and get scared.
Well, I don't know if they will do that because, for example, like some screenshots were going around yesterday where they said that as a one-time exception, we're going to ban your account, So I'm not saying that probably they're doing it to every single Kraken out there, but there are definitely a lot of them that got that message, and a lot of them will get unbanned. So I don't know exactly what's their stance on the whole situation. Maybe they're looking, okay, this guy did it once or twice. Let's unban this account. This guy did it 10, 20 times, permanent ban, like maybe they're kind of like looking at it like this, like, okay. But again, I don't know if they can take resources back and stuff. Like I find it hard to believe. A lot of times, for example, I've seen cases where people, well, I lost this piece of gear on my account. They said they cannot return it to me because they don't know that it existed. They cannot find it anymore. And other things like this. So I find it weird that they don't have kind of like a backup for accounts. Like what happens if your account gets...
I thought they did have a way to roll back.
That's what I thought too, but I don't know because it's so freaking confusing. Sometimes they say they do, sometimes they say they don't, sometimes they say they can do this, other times they say they cannot. So it's kind of like, can you do it or you cannot? Like, what's happening? Which one of them is it now?
I
don't.
think there may be a little bit of confusion. I don't think they can give you something specific back, like a piece of gear. I think they can with champions, but I think what they can do is roll back your account to a previous state, like a system restore. Like we can reset your account to what it was 4 days ago.
If I purchased through third-party apps and I got refunded, you can return my account to 3-4 days back, basically. But I don't think they will do that. I don't think they can actually do that for these sort of situations. That's what I'm saying. So it's a bit weird.
I got you.
It's all kind of like a very dark spot because they're not really making themselves a statement to say, look, we're doing this, we can do this. Yeah, just saying it in a message that we're gonna remove your stuff, it is just not. It's not the case, I don't believe it.
Okay, gotcha. Well, how do you feel about Raid long term, like the rest of the year and next year? I know they just added the ascending of accessories, and how do you feel now that we've seen kind of live arena? And I haven't collabed with you in a while. What's your mental
I
state
think
right
they,
now?
I think the game is going in a good spot with content and stuff. It's true they really cater to end game a lot recently, and from what I understood, like we had an interview with Cyrilla, right? Like they kind of explained that they've seen that once people complete their Momentum missions and stuff, they're not really sticking around, and they're experimenting with more challenging content and stuff for the people. So I guess that's kind of like what they're doing right now. They're bringing a lot of that hardcore endgame content to it, or stuff that's catered more towards the endgame players to kind of like give them a different purpose, once they're completing that. I know they mentioned some massive PvE content coming towards the end of the year. I would love to see a new clan boss difficulty.
Yeah, but that could be ascending accessories. That's PvE content, you know.
I know it's gonna be something completely different from what we just received now. So something else towards the end of the year. That's
okay. Well, that's a good clarification, because when she said that, this new boss wasn't out yet. But she means
no. This was, we knew that this was coming. They mentioned it before. I knew that this was the next thing coming to the game, and not because somebody said it. It just made sense from their business perspective, because we had Ascension on the artifacts for quite a few months now, right? So this was kind of like the next step. Is ready, is just there waiting for it. Then at some point, like 3 to 6 months, we're gonna get that reroll system for the Ascension, what we got so far. And I know they mentioned that they are working on it, and they said they're gonna bring a new PvE patch at the end of the year. So probably either a new Doom Tower rotation difficulty, even like it can be so much stuff. Like just think about new campaign difficulty, new faction wars difficulty, new clan boss difficulty, new Hydra difficulty, new Doom Tower difficulty. Drop all that towards the end. That would be a massive patch. And
when they talk about new PvE content, I don't think it's going to be difficulty. I think it'll be.
Like I know. I'm just saying that this would be probably better than something new. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it'll be a book dungeon Skratch where we can grind up for legendary books. That's what it'll be.
Are you okay today, Chosen? You have fever or something?
I need another cup of coffee. I'm losing it.
Keep on dreaming, baby.
That's right. Dreaming. Well, I also wanted to get your take on some of this other stuff. Like we saw Dragonair and we saw King Arthur coming out soon. Do you think there's going to be any competition that you see down the pipeline? Not meme competition, but actual competition for Raid?
Nah, nothing coming even close to it. And you know why? Like I was talking this with quite a few people, Cold Brew and many others. Like the thing is with Raid, man, like they set the bar so high that there is no competition. And we'll keep talking about the next Raid killer, the next Raid killer. The next Raid killer will be Raid. Okay, so Raid is gonna kill itself. That's how this will end, the whole story of Raid. Because they set a bar so high, and we're not just talking about visuals, right? Because that's the first thing that people see when it's about Raid. Visuals. It looks so much better than that Chinese game that has all the anime stuff in it and things, That's not the only thing that makes this game so different than the others, It has such a depth to it, so many mechanics, so many champions that can be played in so many different ways, allowing you to beat that specific content. It's true the Fire Knight came out and the Sand Hours Necropolis and the Iron Twins, and that kind of like changed a bit everyone's perception about this topic. But just putting this newish content on the side and looking at the rest, like how many different themes, how many different possibilities you guys we have in the game, right? So it feels like it has such a big depth to it that honestly there's not going to be any game coming close to it unless there's like a massive company willing to throw in so much money at it and copying Raid and just improving things. That's going to be the Raid killer.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Okay, Raid has made like over $1 billion at this point. So why, if I'm Blizzard or EA or Sony or whatever, why would I not spend $25 million to develop a game like Raid? You're gonna make your money back. You're not gonna lose money. So like I don't know why we haven't seen it. I don't. It blows my mind. It's like all these companies just watch Raid make $1 billion and have a monopoly. It's like, yeah, we're just not going to compete. We don't want money. It's super weird. I mean, we see a content creator. Hell, Hades is like, screw it, I'll do it. Like, so it's like, it's just weird that no company wants to even try to enter that arena.
I think there is a reason for it too. Like, if you're just looking at games, usually you see they all have kind of like a cycle, right? Like we had, I don't know, first-person shooters were WoW for a few years. Then it came third-person shooters, or the other way around, whatever, and they were WoW for a few years. Then they came battle royales. They were WoW for 2-3 years. Then they came gacha games, WoW for 2-3 years. And I feel like companies are looking to the next thing, you know, instead of looking at okay, we can drop this game in 1 year, develop it to be like crazy good, because you know what, I'm not going to spend 25 million, I'm going to spend 50 million, I'm going to spend 100 million to make $1 billion, and I'm going to do the game in 1 year. I'm going to hire so many studios, so many people to work on it, and I'm going to pump this game out in 1 year. And I'm still going to catch 2+ years of the whole gacha fashion, you know, gacha trend. But it seems like they're not looking at it in this way. I just think that they might be looking, okay, what's the next thing? Let's work on the next thing, you know? Maybe that's one reason why so many of these big companies are staying away. You know, it's so hard to kind of like explain it, like why are they not jumping in, you know, like why? I just find it so hard to understand it as well. It's
yeah, no, I know if I had the money that I would be, but I'm biased. I'm actually in the industry, so maybe other people don't see it from the outside looking in. But I thought you were the Dragonair guy, Skratch. What happened? I thought that was going to be the raid killer. Is it not as good as you thought, or?
I don't think so. No, it's not. It's so different from raid actually, and it's just there's so many different small issues with that game, like time-gated content, not being able to play with many champions, not having so many different mechanics, not playing on the same world server, having multiple servers, not being able to play with friends in the same clan, etc., etc. And the list just piles up, and it feels like this is the exact same issue with every other similar game coming out. None of them are learning. They're kind of like developing these games on the vision that was like 10 years ago, that was successful 10 years ago, but it stands absolutely no chance in today's market, you know?
Yeah, I'm getting to the point where I'm just going to view games as dead on arrival if they segment players into all these different servers.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. It does not work. Like, Raid is successful because you can literally meet someone anywhere. Discord, a Twitch stream, a YouTube video, and be like, hey, join my clan. Boom, done in 5 seconds. On these games where it's like, well, what server are you on? Oh, crap, you're not on my server. I guess we can't play together. We can't, like...
okay.
Like,
yeah, goodbye.
Yeah, it's dead on arrival. Like, I don't even think I'm going to bother playing a game that's like that anymore, because it's just, I know the writing is on the wall.
And what's crazy as well, that they all come with this sort of ideas. Well, the reason why they're doing it, like in the background, right? It's not something that they tell us, but it's kind of like a no-brainer to think. They're hoping that people that spend money will make multiple accounts on multiple servers, spend money everywhere around, and just make tons of different accounts. Like, for example, in the game you just mentioned, they're doing it with the servers where they will unite the servers. So the first thing that they said was like, we're going to unite all the servers at the end of each season, you know? Basically, if we made 100 servers, we're going to move them all into one every couple of months or so. Then they were like, well, we're not going to have the capacity to do that, so they're going to be split in multiple servers. And if by any chance you had multiple accounts and they're all pushing towards the same server, you can only pick one of them, you know? So I'm like, excuse me, you know, like, what if somebody actually falls for that analogy and make multiple accounts, and then they're kind of like screwed, you know? Like,
well, they
I
could
hate
also,
the whole idea of multiple servers.
They could also be thinking it'll give them an avenue to getting like multiple Platinum Arena competitions. Like, instead of Raid, where you have one,
yeah, I know, yeah.
one Plat Arena champion. In these games, they're thinking like, we'll have 100 different servers, and we'll have 100 different people thinking that they're the Platinum Arena god, and have them excited to like whale out. So they could be thinking that, but it just doesn't end up working in terms of a long-term, robust community.
Yeah, that's how they're thinking. So that's definitely the main factor driving the whole idea of multiple servers. You know, like, we can have this, we can have that. They're gonna spend on different servers. They're gonna want to be the best there, and all this sort of crap. But it just doesn't work, man. Like, look at all these games coming out every couple of months. The thing is, yeah, some of them they started to have better visuals and things, but they're still following the same the same old principles that are just not working on today's market. They're just kind of like a quick money grab, and that's about it. And they just dive down after a month or two. It's kind of like the honeymoon period. Yeah, people get excited, they realize how rubbish the games are after they play them for a while. And I'm not talking about Dragonair here. I'm just talking generally about the games that come with this sort of mentality out. You play them for 1-2 months. Look at Eternal Evolution. Is that the name? EE? Right? Like,
yeah.
Everybody got excited for the first month, then they saw how crap it is, and everybody stopped playing it.
Not
like,
everybody.
Yes,
not some people tried to tell everybody the truth and got roasted for it. So not everybody.
Yeah, I haven't even bothered to try it out more than 5 minutes. That was it. I haven't even tried more than that. But it's just like they might offer you a lot of free stuff just to hook you in, and free-to-play players might think it's better, because, hey, these events gave me more stuff than I'm getting in Raid. This is like that. Yes, they actually give us good promo codes because other people, they try to hook you on the game. So yeah, they are giving you good promo codes to hook you on the game and spend money eventually, you or your friends, even if you're free-to-play, So they're kind of like a quick money grab. That's how I'm seeing all these games recently.
Yep. Nope. I agree. Well, Skratch, is there anything we didn't touch on that you want to get to wrap up here? What's new with you and your channel and your content?
Not much, bro. Not much. I'm kind of like taking it chilled at the moment. Just enjoying life, spending time with the baby and stuff. So
congrats. How's that been going?
Not going too crazy on content right now. Yeah, it's amazing, bro. I'm loving it. That's definitely loving it. I do find it pretty hard to work from home while he's around me all the time, because you kind of like constantly wanna spend time with him and stuff. But yeah, kind of like we'll try slowly to get into a proper schedule. I gotta crack back on streaming and stuff. That's something that I've been slacking on.
Oh, well, yeah, that's I think everybody's kind of been in that boat before. Well, okay, Skratch, I appreciate you taking the time to join me. I will link to Skratch's channel down below. He's always cranking out amazing content, so head on over there and show him some love over there on Skratch's channel. So yeah, have a good day, bro. Thanks.
Peace.